Hey everyone, it's Nate here with Element Van Life. I just wanted to do my Tuesday Q&A video. I do these every other Tuesday. For anybody that doesn't know how they work, just post your questions below and I will answer them in the next video. The next one will be on January 24th. So let's get started, guys. We got a lot of great questions to go over this week. First one comes from Wolf Travels 2. They say, great video, Nate. Thank you. I have a question for your Tuesday Q&A. Who are the conference champions on your t-shirt that you were wearing? That's a Boston Bruins t-shirt. That was from when they won the conference championship and then the Stanley Cup. It's the only time they've done that in my life, and it was the first time in 41 years. But yeah, it's one of my favorite shirts. I'm a Boston Bruins fan. Next question comes from Van Life, My Life on Wheels. They say, hey Nate, I like your, I like the new intro. What software or app did you use to create it? It's just a PNG that I created in Photoshop and then Illustrator, the logo itself, and then I overlaid it. I've been using Adobe Premiere Pro to edit my videos now that I have a computer that can actually run the version of Adobe Premiere Pro that I had. So that's how I overlaid it over the intro to create the intro. Next question comes from Forever None. They say, hi Nate, I would love to hear some of your music anytime soon. Enjoy the elephant. I have mine forever. I don't know if I think that's probably an autocorrect, but it might not be. Either way, it's funny. But I'm planning to play some more of my music at some point. I meant to do that in one of the last videos, and I didn't get a chance to. I tried to record it. There was a lot of background noise. It didn't come out very well, but it adds an extra step to record a song and edit that and then overlay it. So, but I am going to try to play some more music for you guys in the near future. The next question comes from Kurt M. They say, what are your plans for your next job? I don't really have anything necessarily lined up just yet for a formal job. I've been doing a lot of work online with the freelance web development stuff and things like that, and I want to focus on that while I can for the next month or so. I'm going to be hanging out here in New Orleans for a little while longer, definitely for at least another month, maybe a little bit longer than that. So I have time to be able to focus on that, and then from there, if I need to get a job based on how things are going with that and with everything else, then I will. Obviously, I would consider going back to San Diego and working as a surf instructor or doing something else. It's kind of up in the air at this point. I'm not 100% sure just yet. The next question comes from Penguin Chick. She says, hi Nate, have you been working after you lost your job? Primarily just on things that are online, freelance web development stuff, obviously the YouTube channel and everything else, but I don't have a formal job or anything like that, a 9-to-5 or anything. But next question comes from Easy Being Steezy. I was wondering, how do you apply for a job on the road without an address? I've mentioned this a couple of times, but it basically, I'll just get an address at the location that I'm going to, and then I also have my permanent residential address that I just always have here in New Orleans as a home base address or whatever. So I can use that if it's something like the sugar beet harvest where I obviously don't live there. I'm just a work camper like everybody else. But if I was to go to a different city and spend 3 or 4 months there and work a job, then I would get a mailbox there as well and use that as my address for the W-2 or 1099 or whatever it may be. The next question comes from Data Geek. They say, Nate, I love your videos. Thank you. What laptop did you end up getting, and what editing software are you switching to keep up the great work? So the laptop I got is an Asus ZenBook. It was on sale on Amazon. I got a really good deal on it, and it has all the processing power that I need. It's got a dedicated graphics card and everything, and it's also really pretty and sleek, and I like it a lot. It's really awesome so far. And I switched to Adobe Premiere Pro. I couldn't run Premiere Pro on my previous laptop. It just couldn't handle it because it didn't have dedicated graphics, and it was older. So it's been really nice to be able to use a more powerful editing software. And I'm still learning it, but it's been fun so far. Next question comes from Reset Suzette. They say, what's your personality type? Awesome videos. Thank you for your constant updates and answering our questions. Thank you. So I don't know what my personality type is. I know I took the Myers-Briggs personality test when I was in high school, but that was my freshman year of high school. That was a long time ago. So I'd have to take it again. I want to say I'm INTP, maybe INTJ. I think I'm definitely introverted. And I think I'm definitely intuitive. I think it's intuitive, but I'm not sure about the other two. I'd have to retake it at some point. If that's even the personality type you're talking about. I'm pretty sure it is, but you never know. Next question comes from Piro Creek. This may be a question you can't answer, but how many kilowatt hours of energy would you need to keep your van warm in North Dakota all day? What percentage of time was the heater on and off at night? So they're referring to when I had the little electric space heater when I was in North Dakota, because I was at a campsite and had full hookups. So I had like a little $10 space heater. I don't know how much energy it used. I wasn't really using it at night because I was working at night and I was sleeping during the day. And I will say this, I never kept it on for more than like a couple of, maybe like for 15 or 20 minutes, or even like if I was hanging out, maybe for like an hour. But when I went to sleep, I think maybe only one time I left it on while I was like taking a nap for 2 or 3 hours. But for the most part, I would run it and then turn it off and then go to sleep and just bundle up, and I was fine. But that was also in October. And obviously it's a lot colder in North Dakota now than it was in October. So, that's a really hard question to answer. I will say that I don't think it's very efficient. I'm sure that it uses a ton of energy. It's not something that I could just run off with an inverter in my 35 amp hour battery or anything like that. I would definitely need a lot more power than that. Next question comes from Wolf Travels 2. They said, when are you coming to Florida? I think that was the same guy who asked the question earlier, but I was in Florida, but only in Pensacola. I'm not 100% sure if I'm going to be spending a lot more time in Florida. I'll probably go over to Pensacola again if there's good surf, but I don't know if I'm going to be like touring around the state or anything like that. I've spent a lot of time in Florida in the past, and I love it. It's one of my favorite states, but I just don't know if I'm going to be heading back there anytime soon, unfortunately. To eastern Florida and southern Florida and stuff. Next question comes from Sophia4774. They say, Nate, I really enjoy your videos. I was wondering if you had problems with humidity condensation while sleeping in your car. Do you need to keep a window open for ventilation? I don't typically keep my windows open for ventilation. I mean, I can if it gets warm in here, but when it's really cold out, I don't. There are some issues with condensation, and I don't know about humidity, but right now in the winter, it happens where there is condensation and stuff, and I have to run the heater in the morning and make sure that it dries up. I check every window. I always, if I need to take a paper towel, I'll wipe it down if it gets really bad. I know I need to. A few folks have suggested putting cat litter in old socks and putting them under the chairs and seeing if that helps. I'm sure that it would. But I'm pretty diligent about it, and I just try to take care of it every morning if it's been really cold. If it's warm out, then typically there isn't going to be much condensation because it's warmer outside of the vehicle than it is inside. But in the mornings and stuff, because it warms up so quickly. But yeah, it's that's not a perfect thing, and I'm certainly no expert on it. But I wouldn't say it's a huge problem, but it's definitely something that I have to deal with. Next question comes from Lawson1. They say, Happy New Year. It's hilarious and fantastic that you had to shoot from a vehicle, even if not your own. Regarding the last one, anything else would be sacrilege. Do you ever think you might head back to San Diego since you love the waves? I just watched your favorite thing about van life video, and it's clear the waves are calling. Oh yeah, absolutely. I will definitely be back in San Diego at some point. I don't know how soon it'll be or how long it'll take, but I miss San Diego dearly, and I definitely want to get back there. Absolutely. Next question comes from Plantman. It's in German. I don't speak German, but I translated it using Google Translate, and I think it was regarding what I had for Christmas dinner with my family. We had turkey. It was really, really good with all the normal stuff that you have, stuffing and potatoes and that thing. It was really good. And the last question this week comes from Gina's Tube. Looks like they got a couple of questions here. Are you able to cook and make coffee inside the Element? Do you cook or prepare most of your meals, or do you mostly eat out? So I've been eating out way, way too much, but I do eat out a lot. I usually just go to cheap places like Subway and stuff like that, but I try to eat as healthy as I can, but I eat out a lot. And it's really hard in New Orleans to not eat out because there are so many amazing restaurants, and I have a lot of friends here, and they like to go out to eat, so I like to go out to eat and hang out with them, and also get really good food because there's hundreds of amazing restaurants in the city. So it's really hard to not eat out here, but I do need to try to cook more. I don't really ever make coffee. I don't really drink coffee that much unless I'm at Starbucks and I need some I don't know, like some energy or something like that, I guess I'll drink a coffee. Or if I'm like driving late at night, I'll consider getting one. But I don't make it like every morning or anything like that. I don't do that. So yeah, I don't really make coffee. But I have cooked inside the element and outside. I do try to cook still every once in a while, and I want to start doing it more often. But yeah, I can cook in here on the floor if I need to. But if it's nice out, I try to cook outside more often than not, because it obviously gets kind of smelly in here. If you cook in here, you know, it's going to smell like the food that you just cooked for a few hours or longer. So I definitely try to cook outside as much as I can. And the last question here comes from Gina's YouTube. It's the same person that asked the last one. What does your wardrobe consist of? How many pants, dress shirts, and t-shirts, socks, shoes, etc. do you have, and where do you keep it? Could you show it in the video? So I am actually going to try to make a video specifically about that. I think that really ties in well with the whole minimalism thing, and just kind of go over my wardrobe. It's pretty small. All of my clothes fit in a suitcase that I just keep right underneath my bed here. It's like a carry-on size suitcase, like one of the bigger carry-on, like an American carry-on size suitcase, not something that you could bring on like Ryanair or anything like that. But it's pretty small overall. In terms of like total everything, I don't know, I have a couple pairs of jeans, I have a pair of khakis, I've got a couple of pairs of shorts, maybe 5 t-shirts that I rotate through, and then a couple other t-shirts, 2 other ones that I use for like working out in and like playing sports in and stuff like that. I have maybe 3 or 4 pairs of like dressier socks, and maybe like 3 or 4 pairs of regular socks. What else do I have? Then like a couple of polos and a dress shirt or 2, and that's pretty much it. Shoes, I have 4 total pairs of shoes. I have a pair of sneakers that I wear like as like everyday shoes, and then I have my flip-flops, and then I have a pair of dress shoes that I can wear with the khakis or whatever, or if I'm like going to like a nice place or I don't know, I have a pair of dress shoes that I pretty much don't really wear right now. And then I have my football cleats to play football in, and that's pretty much it. That's all of them. And then underwear, you didn't ask about that, but I might as well just throw it in here. I think I have 9 pairs of boxers. I think maybe 8 or 9. I've thought about all this stuff, if you can't already tell. But yeah, it all fits really nicely in that suitcase, and works out. It works out pretty well. I've been trying to narrow it down for a while. You didn't ask about jackets. I might as well answer that too. I have like I think 3 jackets that I rotate through. Sometimes I wear 2 of them at the same time because it gets really cold out. But yeah, that's pretty much everything. Not too many clothes overall, but it's enough to make me stretch about a week and a half, maybe 2 weeks between when I need to do laundry, and it definitely works out. It's all my favorite clothes. So that sums it up for all the questions, guys. Thanks for watching. Like I said, the next one will be on January 24th. Post your questions below, and I will answer them then. I'll talk to you all in the next video.